Hello, welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV stream with Glacier Silver Strike. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. We have about an hour and a half, I believe, worth of 4 quests. There's only 4, but I think it's mostly cutscenes. So let's go ahead and get this rolling. Taligi Adaligi. Alright, let's get going. Okay, so we're about to be there. I didn't think she was a bad guy. I'm pretty sure she's about to rat out the first and third squads. I think she's the leader of the fourth squad. She didn't show up to the meeting, though. They had a meeting. And she wasn't there. And it threw me off because there are 4 squads and she's one of the leaders. I would pull out like the slowest mount I have. Hope they didn't kill her. Isn't he part of first squad?
O Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line. Through my weakness, the glorious house of Ul has all but disappeared beneath the sands. For want of the strength to raise it up again, it were better that it fall. Forgive me, but I know not what else to do.
Have kids pass the burden on to your kids, because that's what all great lines do.
You needn't trouble yourself so.
Your Grace is most kind, but it is no trouble to me, rather an honor. If your Grace is ready, I shall summon the Warrior of Light.
I am.
Everyone looks to be in high spirits.
With good cause.
I spiked the wine.
A common victory may serve to unite even the most unlikely of allies. You've brought us one step closer to a united Eorzea.
Your modesty knows no bounds, antecedent. Were it not for your efforts, Sir Emmerich would never have become such a steadfast ally. When he convinces his countrymen to rejoin the Alliance, we shall all reap the benefits, military and economic. I tell you, we are on the cusp of a new era of unity and prosperity. Territorial disputes are all that divide us now. But I have faith that we will find an amicable solution in time. And failing that, I'll have my trusty Warrior of Light box the ears of all concerned. Speaking of whom?
She will be joining us shortly. A matter at the quicksand required her attention, but it did not sound serious.
Onwards to the Queen of Uwu. Onwards to the bedchamber. Creepy.
Enter.
Your Grace, your guest has arrived.
Pray, come in, and take your ease.
'Tis well that the steps of faith held against the Horde.
And what of the city proper?
We sustained some few losses, but the heart of our nation yet beats with vigor. I am not certain I could say the same had we not received your most generous aid.
Well, they didn't really do much. It was mostly me and my friends.
An attack on Ishgard is an attack on the realm. We stand together or fall divided.
Yeah. Okay.
Such noble words after the fact.
Right.
I
Ever
had
the
hoped to
politicians.
speak in the presence of her grace, but it seems she has been delayed. That being the case, now would seem as good a time as any. Honored friends, pray allow me to convey Ishgard's warmest gratitude for your part in the defense of our lands. Tis upon the success of this very alliance that my recommendation to throw open the gates of judgment shall be founded. With the blessing of the Archbishop, it is my hope that Ishgard will soon be reunited with her long-estranged sister nations, and that Eorzea shall once more be as one.
Very well.
Is aught amiss?
Nothing to worry about. I shall return anon. You wished a word, Yu Yu Hase?
You may go.
Your Grace.
You must be curious as to the reason for this private audience. The matter I would discuss, however, will soon make apparent the need for discretion. I intend to abdicate the throne and dissolve the monarchy. You have seen for yourself the storm of turmoil that howls through our streets. The government fails in its responsibilities, and my subjects suffer the consequences of our incompetence. But I will see them suffer no longer. The victory feast shall provide the stage on which I declare the dissolution of the Sultanate. 'Tis mine intent that the ruling class of our golden city should take its place beside the common man in a fair and equitable republic. No more shall this nation bow to the whims of a privileged few. Yet, that which I propose will entail the tearing up of this city's very foundations. And even Roban, with all his strength and influence, will be hard-pressed to keep his footing on such treacherous ground. Thus would I ask you to lend him a steadying hand. You who have endured the wrath of innumerable foes are the one hero in whom I can place my trust. Will you do this thing for me? I am truly grateful. More grateful than I can well express. How much we have both changed since that day we met beneath the Sultan tree. And the days ahead promise to change us further still. I hope that we will recognize ourselves when all of this is over.
That line changes if you're not from... If you didn't pick a starting class that starts in Uldan. I'm not sure what she says, but you only have the Sultan tree scene if you're from Uldan for a starting class.
Your Grace! Her Grace, the Sultana, is dead. Poison in her wine? You did this!
Spare us your denials! I see no other suspects, and the room has but the one entrance.
And why were you here?
I hereby accuse you of regicide! Men, arrest this viper!
Sir, barring a few exceptions, we have detained all those with allegiance to the Scions. The Rising Stones is also under our control.
And what do you hope to achieve with this mutiny?
Why, that which we have striven for all along, Commander. The salvation of Eorzea.
And this is why you don't leave a Lawful in charge of anything.
What is the meaning of this?
Knights from the homeland. This cannot bode well.
Lord Commander, we have received an urgent message from the Holy See. I am grieved to report that your serpentine foes have resumed their assault. Needless to say, your presence is urgently required. These knights have come to bear you swiftly home to Ishgard.
He paid these guys to dress up like knights to get them out of here, I'm pretty sure.
A surprise attack?
We've had no such word from our men, and the timing is most fortuitous to catch us away from the city.
Most fortuitous indeed.
Lord Commander, we must away.
You have been a most gracious host. I hope that I might one day return the favor. Come, Lucia.
Could have asked their house, their name, their rank, anything to, like, try to expose them, but he didn't. Now our one group of people that probably actually help us in the room are gone. And of course he is.
Whatever is going on in there? Ah, the ever-dutiful brass blades. I must apologize, but my dance card is rather full. Another time, perhaps?
Thancred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. You stand accused of committing acts of espionage in service to the Garlean Empire.
Right there, you'd all be dead.
Espionage? What in the seven hells are you talking about?
We're the only force that actually stands against them.
Ah, if you're referring to that business with the Ultima weapon, then you must understand, I wasn't myself.
Under interrogation, an Imperial prisoner revealed your involvement in numerous dealings with the enemy. We've also been investigating reports that you are a practitioner of forbidden arts. You'd best come along with us.
You invite me to your party and now you want me to leave? I do so detest receiving mixed signals. Come then. I believe I've lost my appetite for this farce of a celebration.
Yeah, they'd know better than send 5 people to fight a Scion.
You go too far, Lord Adeleji. By what right do you march armed soldiers into a royal banquet and eject state visitors without Her Grace's consent? You treat the brass blades as your personal army and show contempt for the throne with your every act. Leave us, now.
Is that an order, General? Mayhap you have mistaken me for one of your flames. You will find I am not so slavishly obedient. As you lecture me on personal armies. As for your outrageous claim that I have shown contempt for the throne, let all here observe that it was not I who feasted while an assassin removed its occupant. I expect this is your idea of defending the nation, is it? This and diluting our forces through these distractions in Cartano and Kurthus. I do begin to see how the ranks of the Immortal Flames came to be riddled with Garlean sympathizers. You are plainly unfit for command.
Wait, goddamn you. Your words make no sense. What assassin?
You mean to say you don't know? We caught the vaunted champion of the Scions in Her Grace's private chambers, not moments after the deed was done.
No! No, this cannot be!
Save your breath. You will need it to plead your case. You and your entire order are to be tried for this atrocity. Bring in the prisoner!
I shouldn't have picked White Mage to do this. I feel like I could have looked way more badass.
This woman stands accused of poisoning Her Royal Majesty Nanamu ul Namo and is suspected accessories to the crime. All members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn will be detained for questioning.
And the second command of our military branch is going to do it. Yeah.
This is madness!
What a pity. Who'd have thought your tale would end like this?
Should you demand further proof, a vial with traces of the substance used to poison Her Grace was found upon the assassin's person.
How very convenient.
You would speak of convenience? Who persuaded Her Grace to host this celebration? A diversion which presented you and your confederates ample opportunity to commit the crime, and a crowd within which to fade from view. A more convenient occasion I could scarcely imagine.
How dare you! After all we have done for Uldar!
Hold your tongue, witch! I'll not be ensorcelled! I know all about the dark gift that you and your disciples wield. Oh, yes. I've observed how you worked upon the minds of the Alliance leaders, bending them to your will. And what of your cordial relationship with Sir Emmerich? For years, Ishgard abjured all contact with the outside world, and now the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights treats you with the familiarity of a childhood friend. I'll tell you what I think. I think this desperate defense of Ishgard was but a ruse to deceive us into dividing our forces.
You didn't send any forces!
Your next move will be to charm your Kurthan allies into invading our lands!
I had to literally go and hire adventurers to help us. Ask for volunteers. Beg people on the street corners of Mordona. They aren't part of the Alliance. They're adventurers, not part of any of the alliances. They're from the free companies. They let him talk way too much.
Now that is truly ridiculous!
How do you even think of this stuff?
She cannot be dead. Stand aside, Ilbert. I want to see the Sultana.
Spare yourself the pain, brother. I saw her with my own eyes. For a mercy, the poison took her swiftly. Her handmaiden can attest to that.
She is the one that poured the wine. She poured the wine into the glass. All her.
This cannot be. Nanamo. Nanamo. No!
All the signs are here except for Thangren, I think. We could destroy them all so fast it wouldn't be funny.
Plainly, the Royalists can no longer be relied upon to keep our nation safe. And so it falls to the monitorists of the Syndicate to govern Uldar. But should you wish to help us, General, we would be more than happy to entrust the task of planning Her Grace's funeral to you. It seems only right that you should bury your precious Sultana, and we will be glad to be rid of that burden.
I'll bet you will. You more than any man.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean you had her killed, you black-hearted bastard!
What rot! Though I did have sufficient motive, 'tis true. That young lady caused me no end of grief. She always was a most unwilling puppet. I dare say Her Grace was grateful that someone thought to cut her strings.
I'm surprised at that. The Admiral isn't unsheathing her gun.
You would mock her, then mock her from hell!
About time.
Have you lost your mind, General? It is forbidden to draw steel in the royal chambers, much less slaughter our fellow syndicate members.
Hush.
You're one of them. You've been in league with the Scions all along.
You're next, you scheming bastard!
He's raging too hard.
Oh, Rabong!
7 hells!
You guys are a little slow there.
Admiral, we must leave.
So stupid.
How unlike you, old friend. I did not expect to take your arm so easily.
Take the Scions into custody. They have conspired to commit regicide. And arrest this traitor as well.
I'm going to say it right now because I'm not going to wait like 3 expansions to say it. But until the devs let me kill that little bastard, I'm unhappy with the devs.
Ilbert, I hope you choke on their coin.
'Tis better than the dirt I've supped on these long years. We can't all abandon Alamigo and become great war heroes as you have. You are not the man you once were, Raban. Since that girl strapped the yoke around your neck, you've become docile. She took the mad bull and cut off his balls, and a bull that cannot rot is fit for naught but slaughter. Shall I tell you who really killed your precious Sultana? It was me.
You die!
Why are the Scions just standing there? This has never made sense to me.
I never doubted you, not for a moment. But there is more to this than I yet understand.
And I picked White Mage. We could just, like, reattach his arm right now.
Flee this place. Clear your names. Find out who is behind this plot. It is the only way. Now go!
Ah, there you are.
Thancred, where have you been?
Avoiding the fumbling advances of some very persistent admirers. When I realized the celebrations had turned sour, it seemed prudent to slip away and take stock of the city. 'Twould appear that much of the city is already under tight guard. It occurs to me that expanding the Brass Blade's authority may not have been such a wonderful idea after all.
The success of this plan was contingent upon those thugs having the run of the place. Just how long has this scheme been in motion?
I don't know, since like, before we fought the Garlands? How about before the first quest? It was already happening.
The careful preparations, the maneuvering of forces. I am inclined to agree with the General's insistence that a deeper plot exists here.
So, would I be right in thinking we now have an excuse to pummel as many brass blades as we like?
Yeah, a little late for that. You left the room already with all the bad guys that you really should have taken out.
Unless you plan on pummeling them all, I'm not sure that will greatly aid our cause.
Do they not understand if you kill the people paying them, they will stop attacking you? They just have to know that they're dead. They get no more money, they have no more protection from those people, they stop trying to kill you. That's how it works.
The Sultana's assassination was but one part of the scheme. We too were its targets. And though we did not share poor Nanamo's fate, we are yet hobbled by the charges laid at our door. Where now might we seek refuge?
Where indeed, we may safely assume that our foe is thought to have the Rising Stones watched.
Forgive me for stating the obvious, but our choice of destination will matter little if we cannot secure an escape route out of Ul'dah. Happily, I believe I can provide one. Papa Shan once told me about the passages hidden in the walls of the palace. If I recall correctly, the fireplace in Nanamo's chambers conceals the entrance to a tunnel. It should lead outside the city and allow us to avoid any messy confrontations.
Also, where are the paladins? The Sultan Guard, or whatever they're called. Sultan Sworn. Sultan Sworn. Sworn. Sultan Sworn.
The rest of you go on ahead. I'll handle this lot.
By yourself?
Yeah, because splitting up is the smartest idea.
I suppose I shall just have to join you.
Crystal Braves too, huh? Now this should be interesting.
Ida! Papalimo!
We will hold our pursuers here. Hurry, now! Find this tunnel of Thancreds.
Minfilia, we cannot linger.
Now look what you've done.
Ida, are you all right? There are just too many of them.
I'm fine. I could do this all day. How about you?
Nearing the end of my tether.
This is so stupid. We're the scions of the Seventh Dawn. The ones who stand between this realm and the evil that's trying to destroy it.
And if you think we'll leave the stewardship of Eorzea to the likes of your masters, then you're sorely mistaken.
Sorry I dragged you into this, Popolimo.
'Tis hardly the first time, and I'll be damned if it will be the last. Let them have it, Ida!
I was hoping you'd say that.
I never knew such a watercourse existed beneath Uldar.
The architecture is of the Sildine style, if I'm not mistaken. The ancients plainly foresaw the need for a ready means of escape.
This way!
Well, that didn't take long. It seems these tunnels were not as secret as I'd hoped.
You two, go on ahead. Thancred and I will deal with this.
What do you mean to do?
Only that which is required to ensure that the dawn's light survive to brighten the morrow.
Fear not, antecedent. You haven't seen the last of these fair features.
My friends.
None of this makes sense. They haven't seen you yet. If you just start running, you probably get to the end of the tunnel before they catch up with you. All you have to do is run at the same speed as them or faster, and you will outrun them. And you don't have any Lalafels with short legs. You should be fine.
Leave us!
What is the plan, milady? Shall I take the dozen on the left and you the dozen on the right? The odds are not exactly stacked in our favor.
Numbers will count for little when I bring the tunnel down upon their heads. Though I cannot say I relish the thought of being entombed with you for all eternity.
You wound me. I will have you know that many a maid would kill for the chance to spend forever at my side. Now, may I have the last dance?
Much smarter plan to use Holy Nova to blind all of them in the dark tunnel, and then just have Thancred kill them while they're blind. But I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, this is going splendidly. Now would be a good time, milady!
'Tis done.
Forgive me, Mitra.
Eidolon, she speaks to me. No. I must remain behind, but you cannot stay with me. Please, you must go on. You are the warrior of light. You are hope for the Scions and for all the realm. As long as your flame continues to burn, the light of the dawn may ever be relit. You must escape and save Eorzea from those who would plunge it into darkness. 'Tis the only way.
I mean, there was a way to save everybody, but, you know, nobody in this game believes in a united front. Why do you think we go into dungeons with groups of 4, groups of 8, groups of 24? You're stronger as a team. That's the tunnel that Void Send keep on hanging out around during all the different beginning quests. That leads straight to the fireplace that leads into the chamber to the Queen. Just a thought, you know. Oh.
I am glad to see you safe, my friend. What of the others? Damn that man! Teleji played me for a fool! I thought the Crystal Brave's mine till the very moment I felt the blade at my back.
There will be ample time for soul-searching later. For now, we must put some arms between us and Ul'dah.
I can't remember what his name is. I know who he is. Oh, it's the beginning of the game. Cart driver guy.
Well, would you look who it is? Need a ride? I doubt it'll be half as exciting as the last trip we took. Not if I have anything to say about it anyway.
You know, this guy changes. He has a different name depending on which starting city you have. So there are 3 different merchants, and you'll be in Ul'dah when this scene happens, but the merchant that's in this scene changes depending on what starting town you have.
Let's not dawdle, eh? All aboard!
Also, there's only like 25 or 30 Crystal Braves. Why are there so many of them? All of a sudden. Especially since, like, at least 2 of them are dead, I think. And then one of them was a traitor. Like 10% of them are already out of the picture. And then like 4 of them haven't been turned. So that should only mean that there's like 23 Crystal Braves. And I'm pretty sure Ida took out like 8.
I was stocking up on supplies over in Vesper Bay, you see, when your sister come up and begged a favour. Said her brother was having some trouble down in Ul'dah, and likely needed a helping hand getting away. Thinking them ruins would make a fine hiding place, I decided to try there first. And lo and behold, there you were. Aye, And judging by them soldiers as were pouring out of the city, I arrived not a moment too soon. Ha! Must have been fate that we happened to find you there, though, eh?
I had thought to look out for Alize, but would appear she was the one watching over me. I've made such a mess of things.
Yeah. Kinda how it went down. Sort of. Yeah. You tried. The naivete got the better of you.
Who might you be, young sir?
This is General Robon Jr.
Pippin Taropin, Vice Marshal of the Immortal Flames.
Pippin. That's his name, Pippin. But let's not lie. His name is General Robon Jr. That's his real name. Don't get it wrong.
I had been on the Alamegan front these past few moons, but an urgent communication called me back to Uldar. Scarce had my boots touched the cobbles, though, when the streets erupted with cries of assassination. I immediately went in search of answers, and came across Master Alfino here. Needless to say, I did not think his imprisonment justified. The blame plainly lies with the Monitarists. Their greed and corruption are well known to me, but for them to take advantage of the situation with such alacrity...
Was that Pippin, you said? Ain't that the name of General Aldin's lad?
Yes, I am his son. Adopted, of course. 'Twas only as we were leaving Uldar that I learned of father's fate. Once I have seen you a safe distance away, I mean to return to the city and extricate him from this madness.
Then you needn't travel no further than Blackbrush. Our fugitives have a friend waiting for them there.
I dreamed of bringing about Eorzea's salvation. But in the end...
Dude, it's like every 100 quests or so. Alfino over here, he's gotta go through some depression. Like, it's like literally like 80 or 100 quests. It's like his third time being all like, oh, woe is me. Come on.
'Twas I who needed saving.
Yes. You gotta remember, him and his sister are both still very young. They are children. House Fortemp owes me a favor, and I mean to call upon them. Let's start with thank you. I'm sorry about your father's arm. Good luck. Godspeed. Be strong. Give him hell. There's a lot of things you could say, other than I don't know what to say. I can't wait to see Mini Bull's rebel army running over those monetists. Yeah. Definitely not how I would have written the end. Even if they wanted to go that direction. But, I mean, if they wanted to, like, kill off some of the scions or make them disappear, they chose the right thing to do, make them act like idiots and separate them. I know a lot of them are, like, lone wolf types. They have their little solo cells. They like to be in two-person groups and stuff. But it doesn't mean that they can't fight together. So it doesn't really make sense that we had to split up. It didn't make sense that they all stood there, mouths gaping open, while Raubon was fighting. That did not make any sense at all. Why did they allow Ilberd, or whatever his name is, to do anything? I mean, literally, a magic user could have been like, wham! Okay, you didn't even see that coming because you were too busy fighting the strongest dude in your country who was blinded by rage, and I just hit you in the head with a magic rock, and you're now unconscious. Oh, and there's a little short dude right here, and he's one of the guys that helped implement this plan. Well, wham! Little short dude is now a pancake. Like, seriously, it makes no sense that like literally all 5 of the strongest people, combat ready people in the entire freaking continent are just going to stand there and stare. It makes no sense that the 2 other leaders of the foreign country didn't attempt to question anything, figure out anything, fight back for anything, especially the Admiral. She's a born fighter. Okay. She was friends with the queen. And she just left? She knew the Montes did stuff. She had one guard? Where were the rest of her guards? Also, as soon as Sir Emmerich was leaving, why didn't he question, as soon as he got out of the room, start questioning those 4 people that were there to pick him up? Who the hell are you? What house are you from? If they're picking up the leader of the Holy See, they would be some sort of nobility. They would have a house name. And they were bought out, they would be executed later for what they just did. So, no, none of that happens. There's so many things that just like right there, the dots don't connect the way they're supposed to. Before the Dawn. That's the final quest of post-game.
There has been word from the capital. Ishgard has weathered another assault, and 'tis said several wyverns broke through into the city proper. The Temple Knights succeeded in slaying the beasts, but the intrusion prompted orders to further strengthen the guard, and to place the city under a perpetual state of alert. How keenly we feel the loss of our wards at the gates of judgment. Yet we must not bemoan our misfortune. Sir Emmerich is safely returned from Ul'dah, and once more leads the defense of Ishgard. As for the matter of your asylum, I am afraid no progress will be made until the threat to our nation is diminished. But do not despair. You are not without allies. You are more than welcome to shelter here for as long as you wish. Pray, think of it as a new headquarters of sorts. The Falling Snows, or some such.
I like him so much.
All frivolity aside, any who come here in search of you will receive no aid from House Fortom. For once, the Ishgardian reputation for inhospitality shall work in our favor. Agents of Ul'dah will find their every inquiry dismissed, and their every request for entry rebuffed, until such time as their masters have acknowledged your innocence.
Such a whiny baby.
You once fought to preserve the honor of my dear friend. 'Tis a blessing that I may now repay that debt in kind. But let us dwell no more on this. Pray, join the rest of your companions. 'Tis bitterly cold this day. I suspect there are those who might welcome the warmth your presence brings.
I'm guessing it's Totoro and Flemin and Boulder and the mage guy. It's just a guess, but I don't think Totoro would have been able to slip away on her own, so there's going to be somebody with her. Totoro. That, or she used her carbuncle to get away. face reveal.
"'Tis all my doing. I believed myself the only one who truly understood Eorzea's woes, and look what that arrogance has wrought. I gave commands, influenced governments with my certainty. I treated the Crystal Braves, and even the Scions themselves, as pawns in my great scheme to save the realm. But in my headlong rush into imagined glory, I paid no heed to the ground upon which I trod.
Woe is me.
The salvation of Eorzea. What was it that I hoped to achieve? Did I believe that I could rid the realm of every danger and difficulty? That I could defeat the Empire and the Ascians, and find homes for every refugee? Oh, yes. I was so very clever. Become a guardian of Eorzea, I implored, and sat back to watch my perfect army cleanse the land of chaos. 'Twas all but a means to feed my own vanity. Only when all is lost do I finally realize the truth.
Oh, Alphinaud.
That you're half the man your sister will ever be. You need to get drunk. Here's 3 glasses of this stuff.
So, Master Alphinaud, are you content to remain a broken blade? Is there no flame hot enough to reforge you? What of the fine companions who yet stand at your side? I dare say the fires of their determination will soon have you slicing the air again with your customary wit.
I hardly deserve such friendship. And besides, where are we to go?
Here.
Alphinaud, if I may?
The true hero speaks.
Should this place not serve our purpose, then we shall go to Ishgard. Minfilia told me many times, as long as we stand fast against despair, the beacon of hope will never be lost to sight. Be it in the snow or in the clouds, we few will see that the dawn's light shines again.
You are right, Tataru. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words, Lord Orchefon. 'Tis true that Eorzea yet has her guardians.
Also, he's missing a very good point right here. If he fucked it all up, isn't he responsible for having putting it back together? Like, he's the one that messed it up. He admits to it. I'll even attest to it. He done did it. Okay? Everybody else sat back and went, "It's your pony show. Good luck." His ponies ended up like having some sort of weird disease and it spread everywhere. And everybody's horses are dead. But instead of blaming yourself, you better start digging those graves.
The Scions have achieved much, and 'twould be remiss of me to discard it all in a fit of self-pity. Let us then resume our journey, together, one step at a time.
For about 20 quests until you do it again. You're bipolar. Don't tell me that's how post-game ends. It is how post-game ends.
To all of my children, in whom life flows abundant. To all of my children, to whom death hath passed his judgment. The soul yearns for honor, and the flesh the
Poor Queen of Uwu.
Look to those who walked before, to lead those who walk after. Shining is the land's light of justice. Ever flows the land.
going on in that picture. That's supposed to be Heidelin. Ultima with wings. Gaius. Something. That's warrior armor, white mage armor, monk outfit. I see a bard on the left side. And there's something in between the white mage and the bard, and there's something on the right side next to the monk's feet. Paladin in the middle, black mage on the left side. Dragoon on the left side. Leaving black mage on the right side? That doesn't look like a black mage though. What is that? Almost looks like a chocobo with armor on it, maybe? That doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a picture of like all the classes doing the Praetorium stuff. All the original classes that weren't added in after A Realm Reborn. I was hoping to see a bunch of different pictures and have some really awesome music, but if they're not changing the picture again, I'm about to skip this. Alright, we're moving on. I enjoyed that song though.
All has been arranged as you desired, my lord.
Lala bread and Oedipus. by his will, by his will.
Thou thinkest sanctuary lieth beyond. Delusion, despair, death. Thou shalt find naught else here.
Did I just level up my company by doing the main storyline? It appears I did. That is interesting. I'm gonna pick up this quest, and that's it. That's the end. We're not going to Ishgard right now. Tomorrow, though. Don't know if I'm going to the movies yet. Don't know if I'm going out to eat. Going shopping. My brother's sick, and he's the one that wants to do all this stuff. And I'm probably gonna be like, no. Let's stay home and you rest. Let's not spread the cough. It's not that cough, it's a different cough. Still not cool. So, I think I'm going to stay at home tomorrow and stream. So, I am looking forward to getting into Ishgard, coming into contact with House Fortemp, or however he pronounced it really weird a minute ago. So obviously I'm pronouncing it a little bit off. And then unlocking, I'm hoping to make it to the first dungeon. That'd be really cool. And as we do these dungeons, I will be leveling my classes. Because these dungeons, I believe it's like 52, 54, 56, 58. So basically what you do is I need to get all my classes to 52, which if you look, they all are, right? I will also be unlocking Dark Knight, Astrologian, and Mechanist that will all start off at 30, which I will probably take them and go level them through squadrons. My squadron's doing great. I actually ranked up today, like I thought I would, to First Serpent Lieutenant, so there's only one more rank up I can do. currently left in the game, which I think is lame that they show ranks that you can't do. Yeah, so I should be able to become Serpent Captain soon. Definitely not tomorrow, but soon. I have to basically complete one quest that is very, very hard to do. And it's my squad has to do it, not me. You send them out on an 18-hour mission, they come back, you either win or you don't. I have to win that one. But my squad isn't strong enough. I don't have 4 people that are level 50 yet, so I have 3. Once I get a 4th level 50, if their stats are good enough, they can go. A lot there. But I'm very close to being able to do that. And I'll be ranking them up, though. Leveling them up, rather. My squad members, when I level up these 3 classes. Because I will be using squadron missions to get them all to 52. All 3 of them. So, during that, all my squadron members should level up pretty high. Over 50. In the 50s, probably. Yeah. So, getting them all to level 50-something. Leveling them up good. And then, after that, I'll probably be focusing on getting Machinist up, doing daily missions and stuff, and getting it caught up with Bard and Dancer. These are probably going to be the first 3 that get to 80 naturally, actually getting to 80 naturally by me leveling. Once I get to 80, I'm stopping and moving on to a different class. But I want to get all 3 of them to 80 and then not have to purchase any gear sets using my poetics until I get to the 80 gear. And then once I unlock 80 gear, I will buy their gear sets. But I am not wasting poetics, I'm not wasting time. I'm going to use this lower level stuff while I have bonus experience to level them up to 80. First step is get them to 70. If it gets too hard after that, I'll just buy the level 70 gear by the time I get there. But that's 2 expansions away. Right now we're at level 50 gear. I have to beat the next expansion to get to the level 60 gear. And then I have to beat the next expansion to get to the level 70 gear. And as you can see, I'm out-leveling that stuff like crazy fast. Because it is not hard on this server to level up very, very quickly if you know what you're doing. Well, this has been fun overall. I still don't like how that ended. Like, I am very... It made no sense. A bunch of weaklings beat a bunch of strong people. Because of numbers? Cowardice? Lone wolf syndrome? I don't know. Man, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I could probably fight 100 of the, brass blades easily. Like, just me fighting them, poking them with my little spear. I'm probably 5 times stronger than each of the Scions. But there are 5 of them. So that's like having 2 of me. So we could have probably fought 200, 300 enemies easily. But you also got to think about it. You have a rogue. You have a astrologian, a white mage, a monk, a black mage, and then whatever I am. And in that situation, I'd come as a paladin. Because, well, they needed a tank. And if I came as my paladin, I could have tanked everything, and we would have wiped the floor. I mean, you have a healer, and then you have every DPS, basically, except for Bard. Out of all the starting ones. So I come in as a paladin. You got Yustola sitting there healing me, with her white mage status going on. And then you had the glimpse of the rogue ninja, which, that's what they did. It was the end of the expansion. They were adding rogue to the game at that point in history when that was dropping. So they were like, look what's coming. Literally the very end of the expansion, they said this is coming out. They'll do that at the end of next post game too, when they announce another class for another character. I'm not ruining it though. And they do that for another one. So they announce a few different ones, but you just saw them announcing ninja. Okay? You also had the Black Mage and the Monk. So you had Monk the Ida, and you had Black Mage Papa Lima. So that's pretty much everything except for physical ranged DPS. So we could have definitely destroyed them. Just saying. And then you also have Robon, who's actually a warrior that wields 2 swords. That's what he is. So he was on our team. And if the other leaders of each of the groups fought on our team, can you imagine if the Ishgardians fought on our team? Like, we would have steamrolled them. I mean, the commander, whatever her name is, I'm not good with names. She's an amazingly high-level paladin. Okay? Let me just show you the move that we've already seen her use. Okay? So, she already used it. This one. What level does that say? 70? She's a level 70 paladin. Okay? Minimum. She has to be level 70. We saw her stand against a dragon using this ability. So she is as strong as endgame Stormblood enemies. And you don't think she could fight against a couple level 35 Blast Braids? Or a couple level 40 the Crystal Braves. So the blades are around level 35 each. And the Braves are around level 40 each. Ilberd is like a level 70. Rarbon is a level 70 currently. You got to think of their power as what they are. That's what their levels are. They aren't level 50, even though this is level 50 content. That's not what their levels were in those cutscenes. Using their abilities, that's their levels. So 2 level 70 spot. The thing is, Ilberd actually, he's running a paladin without shield build. And all he did was wait for Rarbon to attack somebody, and then he cut his arms off by sneak attacking. Cut his arm off. Not arms, one. Which really sucks, because that dude is so strong with 2 swords. And they had to weaken him, but he was really overpowered, to be honest. But that's my rant. I don't care how they ended it. There's ways they could have ended it that would have been better. They could have overwhelmed us. We could have ran and escaped. Like, it. At least put up a fight. We ran without fighting? My character didn't even put up a fight when I was in the Sultana's room. Heck, I went in as a white mage. She was poisoned. I have a Suna. That removes poison. And I just sat there and stared. And I knew the maid had just poured the wine. I knew the Lawfell was a bad guy. And I just sat there. Let them handcuff me and take me away. It just, none of it makes sense. Alright. That's like my new outfit I put together. I glamoured my outfit. This is what it looks like now. Well, I'm done ranting. I'll see you guys tomorrow in Heaven's Ward. Peace out. Have a good night.